Our top story today from the GatewayPundit.com, media is working overtime to distort the politics of alleged arsonist who burned Pennsylvania governor's mansion. We're talking about this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today comes from Mike LaChance, who reports the media is working overtime to distort the politics of the alleged arsonist who tried to kill Governor Shapiro in his mansion. Listen to our top story. Well, it turns out that Cody Bomber, the suspect who allegedly burned the Pennsylvania governor's mansion while Governor Josh Shapiro and his family were in it, is now known to be a far-left socialist and BLM supporter. That is not how the media is reporting on him. I saw this one picture and I realized he also played the necromancer in the popular 2007 movie Hellboy. That being said, a memo must have gone out because at least 2 liberal media outlets are emphasizing the fact that Bomber was critical of the Democrats. What might a person infer from the last part? That he's a right-winger. Is that why the media is doing this, or are they trying to imply that Democrats are dealing with threats just like Republicans? Either way, it's completely dishonest. See this report from ABC News for more. Arson at Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's residence was domestic terrorism, fire chief said. Cody Bomber, who is suspected of starting a fire on Sunday at Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's residence, was denied bail at his arraignment on Monday. Bomber, a mechanic who had previously expressed disdain for Democrats on social media, was arrested in connection with the fire early Sunday. Sources familiar with the suspected arsonist told ABC News. One expert said that too bad he tried to burn down a governor's house. He could have just burned down your business, because apparently in 2020 we found out that's okay. Also, way down at the bottom of the article is this part. The attacker was not a fan of Trump. I understand just from what I've read and from what I've been told, said Trump, adding that he was not informed of the motive in the incident. The attacker basically wasn't a fan of anybody's, probably just a whack job, and certainly a thing like this cannot be allowed to happen. Sources familiar with Bomber said his public grievances with the Democratic Party were primarily related to financial issues. Absolutely nowhere does the article describe the suspect as left or far left. Over at CNN, same thing, this guy expressed disdain for Democrats. CNN is doing continuous segments on the man who set fire to the Pennsylvania governor's mansion. They say that according to social media posts, his disdain for Democrats and Joe Biden. The man was a self-admitted socialist who had a deep hatred for Democrats and Republicans. The distortion of the truth is so obvious. Just a mechanic, huh? His history of left-wing socialism and BLM activism just aren't relevant, I guess. Do you think the media would do this if the suspect was anything even resembling a conservative? Clearly not a chance. Now, this obviously brings up, I feel like it's kind of like every day you wake up, it's like, do you guys know that the Democrats lie? Do you know that the far left is captured by not the Democrats, but by the Uniparty? I think this kind of brings also up a bigger issue that the Uniparty faces, is that people who are left-wing and right-wing are both heavily dissatisfied with the state of politics in our country. Bipartisanship is really a thing of the past. Like, if you wake up every day and you think that Democrats and Republicans are somehow the problem, and you don't realize that there's greater control mechanisms above and beyond these people, then I don't think you really understand what's actually going on. But it's remarkable, although I would say I digress. That being said, guys, I want to tell you guys something really important right now. MyPillow, the most comfortable pillows, bed sheets, slippers, even robes, basically anything you could think about. Right now, they're having 2 sales. Number one, the first is a closeout sale on the Percale bed sheets. Any size, any color, just $25. That's right, you can even get queens, kings, split kings, and Cal kings, any size and just color, just $25. 11 colors to choose from. When they're gone, they are gone. The second sale is a new energy drink called Rev 7. I got to talk to you about this if you're looking for that energy kick. It's a premium energy drink that is actually good for you. It tastes great and it gives you energy all day. Plus, I like this part. It has no sugar, no caffeine, so you don't experience those jitters and the crashes that we've all been through with the other energy drinks. What makes Rev 7 so special is that it's powered by Cognizin. It's a premium nootropic that helps fuel your mind and go BHB, which is a primary ketone in your body that provides the most efficient and cleanest fuel ever. MyPillow is so confident that you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try the introductory 3-pack absolutely free. These amazing offers won't last long. Order now at mypillow.com, mypillow.com. Use promo code Elijah, ELIJAH, or call 1-800-210-8491 at mypillow.com, promo code Elijah. Now, that being said, it's quite interesting. Check out this report from CNN where they talked about this. Look at this. Here's where they're saying that he's not a leftist.
We are learning new details about the man police say started a fire after breaking into the Pennsylvania governor's residence. Investigators say Cody Balmer turned himself in and confessed to starting the fire that left a large portion of the home charred and burned. Police say he admitted he was prepared to beat Governor Shapiro with a hammer. The governor and his family were fast asleep when that fire started early Sunday morning. Some of Balmer's social media posts are now coming to light as well, showing a long history of disdain for Democrats.
Yeah, exactly. A disdain for what? The Democrats. That's what they say at the end. Of course, it's got a dishonest reporting is meant to stoke, division in our country. But it is remarkable to me. I mean, in all this being said and done, what the hell is going on in our country? It's a good question. And, just because there's a Democrat that got, attacked, like, this is sort of where I think we're headed. I think that politicians are going to be on the receiving end of violence. I think we're going to see an uptick in attacks, in arson, because people aren't able to feed their families. And I'm not promoting violence by any means towards Republican or Democrat. I just look, when you take it lightly, when they try to dismiss Trump almost getting assassinated, they try to dismiss it, right? They're like, oh, not really a big deal or whatever. And it's like, well, it's going to continue then. If you're not going to understand what's actually happening, it is what it is. And I just think people don't understand how bad this can get. That being said, Katy Perry's post-flight comments perfectly illustrate the farce of Jeff Bezos' historic all-female crew. Check this out. Brian Chai reports that Monday's Blue Origin mission, touted as a historic all-female crew flight, was nothing more than a laughable spectacle. 6 women, including pop star Katy Perry, took a brief trip barely reaching the edge of space. The so-called milestone was the ultimate virtue signaling stunt. It's being celebrated as a groundbreaking achievement, but let's be real here. It was a glorified amusement park ride. The New Shepard rocket, operated by mega billionaire and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin carried the crew for a mere 10 minutes. The flight required no piloting, as the vehicle is fully autonomous, according to ABC News. NBC News further added that these women crossed the Kármán line 62 miles above the Earth, but just barely. They experienced a few minutes of weightlessness before descending back to the ground. And yet we're supposed to pretend that this is a historic accomplishment. A 10-minute joyride doesn't compare to feats of true astronauts who spent months or more in space. Katy Perry's post-flight comments perfectly illustrated the ferical nature of this mission. Ferical nature. In a video clipped by Breitbart News, she blathered on about her supposed journey with the cringeworthy, faux, profound rhetoric. Katy Perry says, I really feel connected to that strong, divine feminine after blue space flight. Can we even get past the firmament? Are we even able to get past that? That's a good question. Because every time I see these things filmed, they're always before the firmament breaks, I have a lot of questions about space travel. Do you think space travel is real? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Not that people don't go up, but how far do they really go up? How far is the firmament? Can we really get past these barriers? I don't know. But check out this clip from Katy Perry. Here she is talking about her comments.
It is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
Okay. This is why you're like, why are women not the ones designing the rockets and putting them into space? Because they're trying to get in touch with their divine feminine. It's like you have an all male, basically engineering team, a male owner, and then they build something and put some women in it, and that's shaped like a penis, by the way. The rocket was phallic shaped. And it's like, yeah, it was just so divine. It's like, we are not a serious country. And also, I'm glad she was able to do her makeup for her trip to space. You got to look sexy in outer space when you're like, what man's gets up, he's like going to go to outer space, and he's like, let me just put on a little lip gloss. I just don't think that. All right, that being said, a slap in the face. Dan Bongino called out after retweeting video of FBI official Stanley Meador, who remains employed despite targeting Catholics as radical traditionalists linked to white supremacy. Jim Hoff reports FBI Deputy Director Bongino is under fire after retweeting a video of FBI official Stanley Meador, The man is still employed by the Bureau despite being at the center of a scandal involving the profiling of traditional Catholics as potential domestic extremists and potential white supremacist recruits. Stanley is a special agent in charge of the FBI's Richmond field office, who oversaw the creation of the controversial internal FBI memorandum that labeled certain radical traditionalist Catholics as potential domestic terrorism threats. The video originally posted by the FBI's Richmond field office shows him addressing 764 Group, a violent online network for coercing children to self-harm, suicide, and animal cruelty, often using cyber criminal tactics like doxing and fake Telegram chats to target vulnerable minors, as noted in a 2024 Cyberscoop report. Dan Bongino's official X account shared this video via a retweet. We have a copy of it here. It's kind of remarkable, we're sharing it now too, which is kind of even weirder, but check this out.
Our last video about 764, or Gore groups, sparked a lot of feedback. It's clear this topic hit home, and based on your comments, we want to give you more information. This might be hard to listen to, but it is important you are informed. 764 is just one of many violent online networks targeting children across the United States, even as young as 9 years old. Children victimized in these groups aren't just coerced into making sexually explicit content, they're manipulated into sharing recordings of themselves engaged in horrific acts, including self-harm, carving abusers' names into their skin, harming animals, building explosives, committing murder, and tragically, live streaming suicides. This might surprise you, but many 764 members involved in illegal activity are actually minors. You asked us what we're doing. Behind the scenes, we have launched a full court press to keep our kids safe and to hold subjects accountable. The FBI is leveraging our counterterrorism, crimes against children, and behavioral analysis experts to counter this growing threat. Here in Virginia, FBI Richmond's Joint Terrorism and Child Exploitation Task Forces are fully engaged with our law enforcement partners. We are collaborating and sharing information with school districts, child protective services, and most importantly, we're talking to parents. The level of depravity we're seeing with 764 and similar groups is some of the worst exploitation we've encountered. Your feedback on our recent post told us what information is important to you. I encourage you to keep following our account and commenting. Stay tuned, because we've got more information coming, including an important message for your kids.
Wow. Okay, well, look, that's good. No one's going to say it's bad to stop children from being targeted, for criminal activity, but still, this guy, we're really sharing his reports. That being said, obviously, if you're like me and you're getting to that age where your body just hurts all the time, let me tell you about something. You do not want to reach for another painkiller until you learn about this little-known turmeric hack for pain and inflammation. You've probably already heard about turmeric being used to fight inflammation and joint pain, but here's the thing. Not all turmeric is created equal. Regular turmeric powder in your pantry might help a little, but a leading pain doctor from Connecticut discovered a special turmeric extract that is 200 times more powerful than what you'd find in standard turmeric. And when he shared this turmeric hack with his patients, the results were shocking. Listen up, guys. The turmeric extract attacks pain at the source, turning it off like a light switch, so that pain not only goes away, but stays away. Dr. Josh, the brains behind it all, has spent over 20 years helping hundreds of thousands of Americans finally break free from constant aches and stiffness. And this turmeric hack has been the backbone of their success. Say goodbye to expensive surgeries, pain injections, or ineffective over-the-counter medications, and say hello to a pain-free living. This is incredible stuff. Once I started taking it regularly, I really noticed a difference. But again, you can't just take an old turmeric. So if you want to learn about Dr. Josh, his turmeric hack, and the exact method for how to use it in your daily routine, just go to goldenrevive.com/gateway, goldenrevive.com/GATEWAY. That's goldenrevive.com/gateway. The link is right just below in the video description. Just click it and start your journey towards pain-free, healthier life at goldenrevive.com/gateway. Now, that being said, parents in the Burlington, Massachusetts are furious after students as young as 11 were asked sexually explicit questions in a survey. Mike LaChance reports this startling development. Public school students in Burlington, Massachusetts were recently given a survey to fill out. Some parents are fuming because it included questions that are sexually explicit. The survey was given to high school students and middle school students, some as young as 11 years old. Parents are also mad because they were told that they could opt their children out of receiving the survey, but it was sent to all students. Quote from the Boston Herald, Massachusetts parents livid after schools give survey on sexual activity, gender identity to students who opted out. Local parents who opted their kids out of a student survey about sexual activity and gender activity are livid after the district still gave the survey to them. Burlington parents have now filed complaints with the U.S. Department of Education in the wake of SurveyGate, claiming that the district violated the Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment by giving the questionnaire to students against their parents' wishes. The controversial survey last month that was given to both middle and high school students in Burlington public schools had questions about sexual intercourse, sexual orientation, gender identity, sexting, experiences with sexual assault, alcohol use, and more. Sexual intercourse, including vaginal sex, which is when a penis goes inside a vagina, oral sex, which is contact between the mouth and genitals, anal sex, which is when the penis goes inside an anus, and the use of toys or props, vaginal and anal. Have you ever had sexual intercourse? Reads one of the survey questions to the middle and high schoolers. The topics would then make an adult blush, as parent David Hannafin is one of those parents. He wrote an email to the district officials after a middle school child was required to take the survey, even though he opted out. Asking an 11-year-old kid questions about anal or oral sex is disgusting. There's no benefit to this. I was assured that my kids would be opted out of these exercises. Why does the school even need this information about their students? Yeah, it's like, if you want to know about kids having sex, you might be a pedophile. It's kind of weird. It's like, hey, I'm not trying to have sex with kids. I just want to know, whatever. Are they putting anal beads up their ass? It's like, why would a kid even know about that? Why would a kid even know about anal beads? Are you using anal beads? Why are we talking to this with kids? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? I remember back in the day, there was like jokes in movies, like a kid, it would find like his mom's vibrator in the drawer and be like, look, I found a toy or something. And they're like, ah, ha, ha. It's like, in a movie, like kids don't know anything about sex because they shouldn't, because they're kids and they can't have sex, or they shouldn't be. And then it's like, now we want kids to know the brand of your mom's dildo. Like, it's like, oh, mom, you have a Vortex Vibration 3000 Plus? They taught me about this in school. Very weird stuff. Now, that being said, also, a Massachusetts couple was accused of kidnapping their own 5 children from state custody. This is a terrible story. You should read more of it at thegatewaypundit.com. My name is Elijah Schaffer. Thank you so much again for watching another episode of the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. Don't forget, if you want to sign up for our mug club, you can financially support this network and the independent media that you know and trust. Plus, get one of these amazing mugs directly, that they are very high quality, right to your door at thegatewaypundit.com. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.